Greetings and welcome to Retention Chronicles, the podcast with learnings from expert e-commerce brands and partners. I'm Mariah Parsons.
And I'm Noah Rahim today. If you're here, you're either on a quest for e-commerce enlightenment or you accidentally clicked the wrong link. Either way, we're thrilled you've stumbled into our corner of the internet.
And hey, even if you're not on the e-commerce hype train, stick around. We promise it'll be worth your while. We've got pearls of wisdom for everyone, whether you're running a business or just trying to keep your houseplants alive.
Exactly. So before we unleash the brilliance of today's episode, let's give a shout out to our fantastic sponsor, Malomo.
They're the wizards behind the curtain, making the post-purchase experience smoother than a jazz solo.
Hit that subscribe button like it will increase LTV overnight, and check out our other episodes at gomalomo.com. That's GOMALOMO.com.
Get ready for insights, chuckles, and possibly a profound realization or two. Here's our newest episode of Retention Chronicles.
All right. I am pumped. First ecosystem episode of 2024. And we're kicking it off with an absolute bang. Joining us today is e-commerce expert, Anatoliy Labinskiy, a four-time 2 Comma Club winner and founder of GSM Growth, which is an e-commerce agency. Anatoly, I'm going to pass it over to you in just a second. But first, since this is the first episode of the year, I just wanted to say a couple words about our new format so our listeners know what to expect in 2024. So for these ecosystem episodes, which again are the episodes that I run, Noah Rahim today here, head of partnerships at Malomo, we're typically bringing on some of the top agencies and technology players in the e-commerce ecosystem to share strategy and tactics, but we're going to switch it up a little bit this year and make these episodes much more tactical and sort of to the point. So the goal is for our audience of agencies and e-commerce operators to be able to have an actionable strategy or tactic that they can actually implement after listening to or watching these episodes. And on that note of watching the episodes, that's another change for the year. We'll be asking our guests to share their screens and show real examples or ideas or presentations of those strategies or tactics that they're going to be teaching us about. And then we'll upload all episodes to YouTube as well as our normal podcast channels. And then finally, since everyone is, I think, busier than ever right now, I think we'd all agree with that. I'm hoping to make these episodes more concise. So historically, they've been about an hour. We're going to try to keep them to about 30 minutes or less. And we're super excited to try out this new format and hopefully make them more actionable for our listeners. And with that, I'd like to introduce our guest, Anatoliy. Thanks so much for joining us. I'd love to kick it over to you for an intro, if you could. And as part of that intro, one thing that we are keeping this year that I'm excited about is one thing that you're excited about in your personal life. So introduction and something that is exciting. You could say Miami. Miami's always great, but feel free to switch it up.
Yeah, sure. First of all, Nora Maria, I really appreciate for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to share today my skills, my experience, what's working for us, and looking forward that at least one person out there will listen, make the notes and implement it. And it will be already a huge win for me because this stuff is working again and again for us. We're going to be moving there a bit later. But the thing is that, yeah, I'm really happy to be here. And like the short introduction that I'm the agency owner, or name of the agency, GSM Growth. And we are handling Shopify brand owner stores and the dropshipping stores for our clients, scaling through Facebook, TikTok, Google, and SMS email marketing. For the brand owners, we are building e-commerce advertising ecosystem. So basically, starting from one platform, after that adding another one. So at the end, the business owner has full marketing coverage from our site, where we helping with the UGC, we helping with the advertising, SMS email marketing, and guidance in general how to expand the brands. So like that's working quite well. We're doing that over 4 years. Made multiple 8 figures in the client's results, and I'm in e-commerce since 2017 and really obsessed with this industry. Like there is no ceiling at all. Like it's just insane how everything is changing, improving, like adaptation every single quarter, I would say, going on with some kind of new things. And what I'm excited about the personal stuff, I'm about to become second-time father in couple of months, and that's the most excitement definitely thing in my end. And we are waiting for the second son. And regarding the business, like I'm excited about 2024. Like I start this year from the events related to my industry, and the things which are happening and how much we need to implement in 2024, especially AI related, especially like strategies for growth, not just like not technical strategies, the growth company strategies which we have to implement in next like quarter. It's just mind blowing, and like I'm so excited for the upcoming year because it's insanely valuable and insanely productive year supposed to be as for now as I can see. So that's make me excited a lot.
Awesome. Congrats on the addition to the family that's coming very soon. I
Thanks.
think, Mariah, I think like 50% of the time,
I'd
so
say so. Yeah.
it's children related. And most of the time it's a newborn on the way, right? or recently born.
It's a
Neither,
very exciting way to keep tabs with everyone of what's going on in their life. Yeah.
yeah. And really, Anatoly, this will be your third child since you run your own business. Because
Second.
that's a pain in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
have another three businesses, so it's like I'm a multi-child family guy in that case.
right. I'm curious, and this might this might go into the tactic that you talk through with our audience today, but you said, new things happening every single quarter in e-commerce, and you're really excited about some of the changes in 2024 and developments in our ecosystem. You mentioned AI. Is there anything else that you're sort of keeping an eye on and really excited to learn more about and to implement in the new year?
I would say that what was the really from middle 2023 till today, one of the biggest things which is happening right now for the e-commerce world, in our opinion, as agency owners and the several brand owners who I speak with, is the TikTok shop. TikTok shop is just like taking over so heavily, to show up from nowhere, like taking over so many like brand new products became a big brands in the last 6 months. So definitely like TikTok shop, this is something what we are start implementing now to our marketing ecosystem, which we providing to the customers, because like this is something which is has to be in that ecosystem. It's organic, it has a lot of brand awareness, and it just has a lot unlimited infinity quantity of the creatives which we can use and like just scaling up with the advertising, because this will usually like a bottleneck for the any kind of e-commerce brand creatives. But with the TikTok shop, it just covering so many things like revenue, profitability, UGCs, like brand awareness, so much. So this is something which is definitely like our eyeballs on it from the beginning of this year. I mean, we started last year, but now it's big attention there.
Right. Yeah, you probably have already seen some results from the end of last year going into this year that validate all of the things you just said. What's interesting is the podcast is called Retention Chronicles, so we typically focus on the post sale side or post acquisition side, I should say, and how we grow existing customers. I'm curious for you, do you think of TikTok as a retention channel as well, or is it really just to drive that first purchase and then you want to move them over to the more traditional retention channels from there?
Yeah, sure. So like for example, to the subject of today's presentation, it will be actually TikTok advertising and how we
Oh,
analyzing that and how I understand the TikTok mentality in general. This is what we are using, and very important to understand the metrics. And by that being said, like TikTok to compare with any other platform, especially to compare with the bigger player Meta. definitely retention. Like TikTok is a great platform to bring eyeballs into it, and after that catch with the Google Shopping and with the Meta Facebook retargeting campaigns. But still, like we are getting retargetings from TikTok quite a bit, not that powerful as on Facebook, but like you should not sleep on it. I mean, all the platforms has to utilize all the power of it, and that's why like just change a bit the angle, make a bit more personalized messages, and the retargetings will be working much better. TikTok just has a problem that it's less consistent, and to make it consistent and fast and profitable all the time, it requires unlimited creatives, unlimited angles, unlimited approach to the creative side. So that's why like retargeting is working well, but they are not surviving for long if you won't be updating the creatives again and again and won't be continue speaking to your audience.
Right. Okay.
Anatoly, real quick before we dive into it, is there any worry
Yeah.
like with the consistency or the lack of consistency, unless you have unlimited resources, that with TikTok, if anything happens to the platform, just because it's newer and some of the um, analytics or metrics that people are just now discovering, like TikTok Shop, is there any worry from your side or the brands you're working with that if you scale on TikTok and something happens to the platform, then you lose all of that? Or is that really not a concern of yours?
Uh, I would say I have no those concerns. First of all, TikTok is here and it won't go anywhere. Like it's done. Yeah, like look, I'm basically Ukrainian who living in Portugal, has a company in Miami, in Florida. And when I'm visiting Miami, when I'm visiting United States in general, people are not Googling. People are searching in TikTok, which is mind blowing for me. I'm
Yeah.
feeling myself as a dinosaur, seriously, when I see it. But fuck, even searching for the restaurant, they like going to TikTok, like what a joke. But it is
Yeah.
fact. It is a fact. So it won't go anywhere. I have no worries about that. Plus, very important, any kind of platform which you are using, make sure that all the pixels set up on place from different platforms. So you will collect the data. And if anything happened, which is like, it would be mind blowing, but let's say something happened, restrictions going on or whatever, you're gonna be able to take your data and just utilize that on another platform since all the pixels were on place. So that's just my opinion. In this way, you're protecting yourself. Plus, if you're speaking about active audience, which is we're leaving the data like emails, phone numbers. So obviously, money are staying. All the profitability is on the email SMS marketing. And like, if you won't be running the active SMS email marketing campaigns, you're gonna be just living on like over 30% revenue on the table with no reason. It's like where is all the profitability actually for every single brand, and the same people sell much easier than to someone new. So it's just a simple rule.
Love that answer. Thank you.
Sure.
Sweet. Yeah, let's dive in. So Anatoly, I think you have a TikTok related kind of use case that you wanted to talk through, and I'll let you go ahead and take over the screen share. So for our YouTube audience, they can get some visuals. Um, but yeah, just keep in mind that not everybody will watch on YouTube. So we'll try to explain as best as we can as we go through this for the people just listening on their preferred podcast channel.
Yeah, sure. So, as I was saying, the subject which is I want to share is our TikTok strategies. It's not even the TikTok strategies. It's about our understanding of the logic of the TikTok paid advertising platform as it is. Since we realize how it works, what it requires, we stop seeing any kind of real problems to run ads there. So, and we doing that already for about 2 years. And since we like kind of cracked the system of the logic, which is not exist in TikTok, but repeatable steps are allowed you to stay like, to stay on the way where you can keep the profitability and revenue going with the TikTok. That's definitely the subject which I want to speak about. So on this particular example, why like First of all, I would prefer to speak more about like maybe something more fancy like TikTok Shop or something else. But I want to speak right now on this podcast about something what is 100% confident, because TikTok Shop we still figure it out. We like
Yeah.
running around. I hate this kind of gurus, you know, who gonna be like making like one successful thing and gonna be like sharing like I'm expert on it. I just want to share this particular part about the Facebook or TikTok advertising platform, since we've done that again and again, and especially on this particular example, which we done last year. It was a dropshipping store. So we have a client who is on the brand with us, and he just decided to test it out the dropshipping store with the TikTok, and we made this kind of like challenge for ourselves. And the thing is that client is already in e-commerce, so he is aware how everything is working, and I believe this is the part of the success for this particular case, because as you can see on this screenshot, we started first 2 months, we were really playing around, trying to reactivate the ad account, because ad account getting shut down quite often when you run in dropshipping ads on the TikTok. And we'll see, like, I highly recommend to use the agency accounts for TikTok. This is another thing which is very powerful, like Facebook and TikTok only agency accounts, so you won't have any kind of ban problems. But anyway, we were handling a lot of ban issues, and after that, when we figure it out, we start testing finally products, and the store was related to the beauty niche and health. So we find out the product which is related to the health niche, and helping 35 plus people to circulate their blood in their legs. And that's product really like helpful, useful. We got the angles together with ChatGPT, together with the reviews on Amazon, like all the basics marketing research we have done. And by end of January, as you can see, it start taking over. And like when we start seeing the performance, I will move now to the targeting and everything. We realize, okay, this is something here, and we can move on that direction, and to try to push it with our understanding of the TikTok logic. So
Really quick on that.
yeah,
How does TikTok's targeting compare to other platforms like Meta?
a good question. Look, on this example here was the targeting. We have some cases where it was broad, but I would say in the last 12 months we're using targeting. So from the beginning we didn't use any targetings, but last 12 months we like actively using targeting on TikTok, because it became more common sense into the algorithms, that like we can use it, we can utilize it. Before it was only broad. We tested out broad as well on the scaling, but most of the time we are starting with the broad niche targeting, like it was in this case, which is I'm going to be sharing with you. Before we will move forward into the exact metrics and KPIs which need to follow with TikTok, I want to explain how important it is to understand the margin. This is, guys, to be honest, like as an agency owner, I have deal like with hundreds of the brand owners and people who are making even multiple six figures a month, sometimes come in and I'm asking like, what's your margin? And they don't have answer. And that's the reality. I mean, that's not it's not a joke. It's sad, I would say. It's a funny, it's sad. It's like I just started educating them. Okay, what's your ROS break even? They're like, what do you mean? So that's the number one metrics which you have to understand before you spend any dollars on any kind of platform. Okay, so in this that's why I'm going to describe this kind of metrics on a product which we're running. We put the selling price $49.95 for that product, where was $11 cost of the purchase and cost of the good plus shipping. So total $11 cost, and our net margin means $38.95. So $49.95 minus cost. This is your net margin, which you can spend on ads $39, and it will be exactly your break even if you get sale. If you get sale lower than $39, then you are actually profitable. If it's above your or actually losing money. So this is you need to understand what's your CPA break even, and it will be your net margin, which is $39 in our case. And break even ROS, how to calculate? You just basically will take in the price 49.95 minus net margin, it will be 39.95, and actually sorry, 49.95 divided by 38.95, so it will be your ROS break-even point 1.28. Then lower number, then higher possibilities you have to be profitable. So then lower your ROS as a break-even, then more chances that you're going to be highly profitable on your end. So like this product allowed us to put the right price with the good margin on it. So like because it delivers high value and serving huge problem related to the health, so we can play around with the pricing easily. So our break-even ROS was 128. Remember those numbers, because what I'm going to be sharing with you on the ad accounts, so like examples, you will see why it's important to know this kind of metrics. So basically, testing products, ad structure, one thing which is you need to understand before following any kind of guidance, mine or someone else, especially like I'm an agency owner, so I have like hundreds of ad accounts which I have seen, which I'm seeing on daily basis. My media buyers are seeing on daily basis. So I see I have omni vision of what's working, what's not working. If you're going to be listening the brand owner who is handling one account, one brand, it's hard to follow that one idea because each ad account performing differently. What does it mean? So if, for example, I'm sharing with you that we started testing with ABO, maybe your ad account will be actually prefer more CBO for the testing. Maybe bid caps has to start. You have to start as soon as possible. Like you need to understand your ad account quite well. This is what basically we starting with all the time. But when you start seeing that product taking off, we start testing out different strategies on what kind of structure in ad account gonna be working better, because the structure in ad account is very important to find out what's working the best before scaling. On this ad account, we find out that smart campaigns were performing the best, but I will come to there. So we started here with the 18 plus targeting, 3 ad sets by $30 each, so low budgets. One interest in each ad set, as you can see, it's like health, lifestyle, health and wellness, and hand and foot care. So like 3 simple, highly related interest to the product which is we are advertising. It's like EMS massager, helping blood circulating the blood, as I was saying. It's, by the way, my mom since 30-year-old were working on the legs in the supermarket, so I know how painful it is. So we were handling that kind of like angles of pain and how to provide a solution to that pain quite easily, because I have a good life example, like what exactly the problem people are getting, what kind of solution by this EMS we can provide for them. So that was quite easy to handle. And we like find out the different angles, created our own UGCs to that product, and start testing on ABO level campaign with ACO on option. ACO allows you to test several variations of ad copies and creatives in the same minute in one single ad set. So we have 3 ad sets, and each ad set has 15 variation of the creatives, whereas like 5 different ad copies with 3 different videos. They are just mixing up all with each other, and it's giving you 15 individual unrepeatable variations of the creatives in each ad set, which just allows TikTok to find out that particular variation of ad copy and video, which is going to be algorithm catched and push it to the audience. So this kind of thing is crucial, that how you can test it like several of the creatives in one single ad set. Super simple, not expensive, and in the same time, like not a big work need to be done. Only 5 copies, which is short in the TikTok. It's not Facebook platform. Here is a short content needed, and like 3 different video variations, and that's all. And you have 15 unique creatives. So,
Does
and
TikTok,
here,
you
yeah.
might be getting to this, but does TikTok make it very clear which variation works best? Or do you have to kind of go into the data yourself and figure that out?
First of all, it starts spending much more on particular variations. Secondly, CTR well, this is where it's going to be next slide.
Yeah.
Very important on TikTok is the CTR metrics. It's going to be
Okay.
showing to you like, oh, this is particular things which is people loves.
Yeah.
People want exactly this at copy with this video. Okay, so this is help you to like by reading the metrics, you understand which creatives are actually taking over. Very rare on TikTok when all the metrics are high and the lower metrics giving you bigger results. I mean, in terms of profitability, it's very rare. Usually, all the metrics has to be high enough, and you're gonna be going in the same way profitable. When on the TikTok, like similar to Facebook, but it's more sensitive. Like if it start dropping a bit the CTR or like increasing the cost per click or something like that, you instantly start seeing fluctuation in the profitability. So that's like so sensitive and so affected on your performance when you are not following the simple steps which is I'm about to share. So like as I was explaining in this particular ad account, you can see on the screenshot, everything was on smart campaigns later on. So we find out that it's working. We just start duplicating to new campaigns, like basic scaling strategies, three times duplications. It start performing. We're like, okay, let's duplicate with the bigger budget from $50 to $100. And then let's play with the structures, which is I was explaining on previous slide, that what structure working the best. And we find out that actually smart campaign, which has no interest, it's completely broad. In smart campaign, you put it like several winning creatives, then more creatives, then better, but we prefer do not put more than 4. It's like a golden mine, 4 creatives, 3 to 4 creatives to put in the smart campaign. So we have always testing creatives campaign, structure campaign, testing product campaign, and testing interest mostly on Facebook. On TikTok, we don't go that much with the testing interest. So, and because we have testing creatives campaigns, we filling up the smart campaign with the new creatives, which is gonna be like performing the most and putting them to the smart campaign and scaling them by duplications. So we duplicate in smart campaigns here, like by $100, $200, $300. We start playing around with the budgets, which budget is going to be working actually the best for this particular ad account. So here, like before going deep into the strategies, metrics which you need to be understanding on the TikTok. This is crucial. It's your ROS, which we discussed, 1.28 is break even. CTR, then higher, then better. Minimum, I would say 1.3, not lower. Whatever is lower, you need to look on your creatives, what's wrong with them. CPM for TikTok right now, it's coming almost the same as Facebook. Before it was less than $10, but I would say $10, $15. It's like quite a good metric for United States market for tier 1 countries. And CVR, so how many people actually taking action and clicking on your ad and moving to your store as well, then higher number, then better. And like CPA, this is the like ROS and CPA. This is 2 things which is gonna be keep you profitable, or you're gonna lose money. So you have to look on ROS and you have to look on the CPA. This is 2 crucial metrics from any other metrics to understand your profitability. So you remember, we have $39 the break-even point for this product. And as you can see, the CPA on all those campaigns were the highest is 35, but everything else 29, 33, 25, 25, 25, 26, 34. So basically, what we are doing, when we have break-even $39 on the TikTok, we definitely put extra 20% margin to put the rules to kill the campaign if it's going above that level. So basically, we try to not spend on each campaign more than $30 per acquisition. So our CPA rule around $33. So we have extra $7 to $9 living with us. And even if the campaign was sucks, we were still having around 15-20% profitability on the sucks campaign. But the killers campaign, which we were scaling, and I will show you them on the next slides, are like usually on TikTok, it's like double down from the CPA. If you see that something is double down of your CPA, so your CPA break even is 39, and if your cost per purchase, your CPA is lower than 20, it means today you're gonna be scaling as hard as it can because it's highly profitable campaign for today. That's about TikTok. This is one thing which is people are not saying. What's the difference between TikTok and Facebook? TikTok has to be focused on today only. Yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Facebook, you look on 7 days, 3 days, someone's looking on the 30 days because it's more consistent platform. TikTok, what was producing yesterday could be sucks today. Or what was sucks yesterday could be a banger today, could be a winner. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's why when we operate in several campaigns in the same time, we put in for ourselves always this kind of extra dollars to CPA rule, lower than the break even, because we know that tomorrow that campaign could be actually sucks, and because we're gonna be still believing in her from yesterday, yeah, we believe in that this campaign actually producing, or from past week, we could lose money on that campaign. So that's why if you see that campaign, even the best one, start going above $30 on particular break even 39, we're gonna be just scaling it as up or slowing down the budget. Or if we were scaling vertically, serve scaling vertically during the day, we're gonna be slow down the budget because that could really create the issues if you won't follow. So TikTok, it's all about media buying. I would say, Papa Master, who is like controlling the dolls.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly like who is media buyer on TikTok. This is like you playing with the budgets up and down. You are like killing. You killing the campaigns. You turning on the campaigns. You are following the metrics like it's almost 24/7 need to be done if you want to be on the high level skills on high level numbers with the campaign, because such as of these campaigns were on almost $20,000 a day on the ad spend. So we will move there. One single campaigns. So when you're doing that on the right way, like you understanding the TikTok, you understand the metrics. Okay, the way how to scale. Again, it depends on the ad account, what ad account prefer. Is it duplication, which is horizontal? Is it vertical, which is like vertically scaling budget, topping, put it budget up during the day, or like a combination doing all the same but with the bid caps. And bid caps usually it's like in Facebook giving you long-term consistent performance. In TikTok, it's just giving you more possibilities to create more campaigns, win out so on for today, but tomorrow nobody give you any kind of guarantees, unfortunately. So that's why when you are scaling by duplications, we were duplicating 5-10 times. We were vertically scaling from 100 to 200, from 200 to 50, from 250 to 500. You need to see what's your CPA, how it looks like, and how it looks like your ROS. Because when you start vertically increasing the budget, you like if you don't look on your CPA, you could lose profitability instantly. Because like let's say one of our winning campaigns is like $14 per purchase, and after that we just like start scaling. It's still giving us sales. But if you won't look on CPA, you won't recognize that now your cost per acquisition not $15. Your CPA actually $30. So it just grow. You now have a bigger budget. You still getting sales, and it looks like great. But at the end, if you are not follow the simple metric of CPA, you won't understand that. Hey man, like you started actually losing money. You just like getting purchases for more higher price. Doesn't make sense. But when you see that, you have to decrease the budget or even turn off the campaign for today. And after midnight, turn it on back on original budget. So the main thing about the TikTok, what was working yesterday doesn't work today and opposite. Because of that, when you scale to, let's say, from 100 to 500 vertically, you need to return the original budget from after midnight. So you started on 100 and scale to 500. Make sure that tomorrow started from 100, the same winning campaign. Because if you will leave on 500 level like you could do on Facebook, you're gonna be most probably losing money from first minute on the TikTok on the next day after midnight. That's why very important, like a Papa Master, always playing with the budgets and like from midnight, return your initial budget back as it was on the previous day. And that's like, okay, how I would scale in that case. Yeah. So, okay, I have a bunch of campaigns of $100. How would I scale to like thousand or $10,000 a day on ad spend? That's why you have to play with the different budgets. So that's why you have to play with the different budgets. When you duplicate in like 3-5 times, you have to start, if it's already proven that duplications are working, you have to start like, okay, this campaign was 5 times duplicated, $100. Let's see what else working in this ad account. Maybe this we know that $150 are working. Let's find out what else is working. So we tested out 200, 300, in 5 time duplication. One campaign is 200, one time is 300, one time 400, one time 500, one time 600. And checking out which of the budgets will be produced well as well. And you know what? Most of the time, 4 or 5 are actually sucks. And we find out that actually $400 are working well and everything else doesn't work. So like, wow, okay, now we have initial budget of the day, $400 from nowadays. And now we can scale not from 100 to 500 during the day. We can actually increase the budget during the day from 400 to 1,000. And we already like having like higher higher ad spend, and like by following the metrics we understanding that we are highly profitable and we can push forward that budget. And that's why, like, if you see that your CPA is high and your profitability is high as well at the beginning of the day, and you have like initial budgets already not 100, 400, and you have bunch of 400 campaigns, find out one which is like delivering the most and just scale that hard to 1K a day at least, and maybe even above. And don't stop scaling budget. Vertical scaling has to be stopped after 3 p.m. If you're gonna be continue increasing after 3 p.m. on TikTok, most of the time, if your ad account the same with your time zone of the store, most of the time you're gonna be start losing your profitability. The biggest push has to be in the morning, and as well there is one metric which I didn't speak about, is the level of profitability in the morning which you have to follow before scaling or killing. If you see that your day starting 25 to 30% plus profitability by 5 a.m., then today is going to be scaling day. Today you're going to be pushing hard. But if you see that your day started sucks, like 20, 18, 14% profitability, then you're going to be, this day need just to survive. So you won't be scaling. You're going to just like killing on time, downgrade the budgets, whatever needed, pause the losers, and next day trying those losers again. Maybe it will work again. So this is very important for you to always use the platforms. For example, like True Profit. It's not affiliate, nothing. I'm just saying what we are using. So True Profit app, which is supposed to be on separate tab, open in front of you, all our media buyers looking on the True Profit before making judgments on the ad account. So True Profit is showing that, okay, we have profitability right now 14%. We won't be scaling today. We have profitability 27. Yes, let's find out what's campaign producing the most and scale that baby vertically during the day. And duplications which we made yesterday, we're going to be killing the losers and leaving the winners. And this is about like scaling harder. You're testing out different budgets, and as well, when you are, let's say, find out 400, now you have to test it out 5 times of bigger budgets, 800, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1400. Find out which is working. We find out that $1,000 budget is working well, and now your initial budget on the next days will be starting with couple of campaigns, $1,000, and you can vertically scale. And this is where we were getting one campaign from like 1,000 to 5, 7,000, one single campaign up to like over $10,000 in the daily spend. And basically we have like, let's say 20, 40 campaigns running, and during the day, only one or two leaving. So during the day, we just cleaning all the bad stuff according to the metrics and leaving just one or two running and scaling that hard until we can, basically up to 3 p.m. if it's still showing low CPA and higher ROS. And we just like seeing performance over like 20, 30K a day easily with the TikTok ads only. But it could be great day, but tomorrow everything could die off without any kind of returns.
Yeah.
And to avoid that, you need something what I mentioned 10 minutes ago, separate campaign of creative testings. This is all about TikTok, another point. Even Facebook, very important creatives in nowadays, but TikTok, it's all about creatives only. So if you want to feed it with the new variations of the creatives which is working, let's say you find out creatives which are working, you taking them off and send it to your video editor and saying, listen, these angles are working. I want you to make 30 variations of these creatives with the same angle, more at least 30 variations. Plus UGC department, I need more angles like that. So you're supposed to get more and more creatives every single week. When you're like less than $1,000 a day, $1,000 a day in revenue, you can test like 5 creatives a week. That will be fine. You will be okay. But when you're scaling, like I described to you, like 1,000 starting budget, 10,000 a day, one campaign, it will be dying off in every 3 days. Really, it will be dying off all the creatives. TikTok never let creatives be alive for long. So that's why the creative testing campaign has to take always up to 20% of your daily budget. Up to 20%. You have to test a bunch of the creatives. So if you're doing 1,000 a day, you have to test at least 5 a week. If you're doing revenue in 10, 20,000 a day, 10, 20,000 a day, then you have to test at least 20 or even 40 creatives a week. This is where you will be seeing the consistency on the TikTok side. Otherwise, you will have spike of incredible day, and after that week, it will be like that, and after that again, spike of the day, and this is how it is. And if you want to see the straight line on the TikTok, you need to feed it up with the creatives. And this is the only one thing how you can allow your ads being profitable and consistent. Profitable by looking on metrics, and consistent by feeding up with the new variations of the winning variation creatives. And as well separated, tested out the new angles. Who knows which angle will perform as well. So basically, like as I was explaining that, like here, for example, it's like our campaign switches were usually staying at the end, and like only you see everything is killed and only one campaign staying. And why it's staying? And we were pushing it really hard, like 2x, 3x, then 1K, 2K, 5K, 10K a day budget. And why? For what metrics we were seeing? We were seeing that CPC is super cheap, CPM is okay, CTR is good. Still, like creative is like alive. If this is another thing, when you scaling, you start seeing that you scaling and your CPI going higher and higher, and nothing is like working day by day. Always check on your CTR. Most probably your CTR is start going down to compare to other days. It means your creatives start dying. This is the metric where you will feel that creative is dying or no, it's your CTR. So that's why you need to feed up with the new creatives, new winning creatives, your campaigns, and continue scaling, and your CTR will be again okay, will be growing, and looking on your CPA. So this is one of the banger campaigns. So you remember our break-even is 39, and we getting sales for 14.48. It's just insanely highly profitable, around 60% profitability campaign. And obviously we were pushing it, double it the budget during the day. If the CPA would be higher, like 32 for example, we would be start slowing down the budgets and seeing how it works. But since it didn't work, like you remember, we have a rule up to $33 to kill. We just killed that campaign, and that's all for today. And tomorrow we just launch it again and checking out how it would produce on the original budget how it will produce the results again to us. So basically it's the main things about that, and like if the campaigns are not producing quite well, we just trimming the budgets or killing them. If they are sucks, we killing them. If they're just okay and you're trying to push, they doesn't work and you reduce a bit and it's just giving you okay, like $25, let's say, cost per acquisition, we just keep it as it is and let it go till the end of the day. But the bangers, we scaling hard and making sure that every single day creative testing campaigns are going active and spending at least 10 to 20% of the budget. Usually, like you have to put 20% budget on the testing phase of the creatives, testing of the structure of the campaigns, and sometimes offers. When you see that offers start not dying off, here is another thing, which is in the 20% of your daily budgets has to be always implemented. Test it out different landing pages with different offers, but it's another subject. I don't want to go too deep. But this is basically metrics which you need to understand and follow the KPIs to follow. By following those KPIs, you're able to run profitable and consistent TikTok advertising. And this working for us quite well for quite long. And with TikTok Shop advertising, because TikTok Shop can be actually advertised right now. And like now we want to implement all the strategies for TikTok Shop and see if it will be produced the same or even maybe better results than on Shopify. That's another thing which we're going to be diving in and implementing exactly the same logic to the TikTok Shop itself and see how that will produce. But that was the basic like level of the management of the TikTok ads, and we were able from 0 to 275,000 scaled in less than 60 days, and like highly profitable results. I mean, that moment it was 23.4% net margin, where we generated $64,000 in the less than 60 days for the client, with no buzz data, with no email marketing, just TikTok. Retargeting was there, but only 5%, just a bit. And as I was saying, it's just like dying and we're launching new, dying and we're launching new. But the main point was to find out the structure, which is smart campaigns, find out what's working the best, duplication of vertical scaling, get the initial budget as high as possible, because it doesn't mean if it's 400 producing, that 1,000 will produce. You need to test it out different ladders of the budgets and find out which one could be 900 yours in your ad account. Could be my end 1,000, on your end it could be 900, 950. You need to find out that sweet spot, and then when you're finding out what's working the best to the ad account, to the algorithm on this particular ad account, you can scale further and test it more and more things and playing around with up and down budgets according to criteria and metrics which you have to your product, your break-even margin, your CPA break-even, and ROS. That will show you like how well you're moving during the day. And this screenshot, by the way, from the True Profit app. So basically this kind of app, it's usually on the second tab for media buyer, and he is just like making adjustments according to the numbers which he's seeing for particular day on True Profit.
Wow, so much there. I really appreciate you running us through that. And I have so many questions, but I have a hard stop in a minute. So my big takeaway too is, the whole what worked today might not work tomorrow, or what didn't work today might work tomorrow, right? So I think that's really important. It's a really interesting distinction between the other ad channels that our listeners should take away as well. And since we're at time, Anatoly, again, thank you so much. Where can our listeners find you if they want to connect or learn more, especially as you think about how TikTok shops could enhance or change what you just walked through?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, I'm personally replying in DMs in Instagram. This is number one platform where I am. It's ecom by Anatoly Labinskiy Instagram page. And plus, like we have free content on our YouTube, a lot of case studies at Facebook, TikTok, email, SMS marketing, and it's Anatoly Labinskiy YouTube channel. You can have a look, a lot of free, valuable content for you there. And our website, gsmgrowthagency.com, where you can just scroll down and see all the past data, our team members with photos, with everything there. So you can see that who we are and how long we are on the market.
Awesome. All right, Anatoly. Thank you so much, man. Mariah, thanks as always. And we'll talk soon.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys.
It's a great one.